Quick shot. That's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post on the empty net.
Daggle that clears number 2. Finland in the dance. A tie-up. Stevens and another defense right behind him, almost turning over the puck. And an almost centering pass. Jackson Steves regaining possession. Pass up for Jaya. Jaya stepping in, cutting in the middle with a shot. He scores! Outlet pass for Will Cole, stepping up to the middle. And with stick checked by Legel, there's a hit. And with stick checked by Legel, there's a hit a bit from behind on Bizo, and the Flyers may have an odd man rush the other way. Legel breaking with Robinson. There's Robinson, backhander. It's Duplessis behind the net, trying to poke it by Bellier. Up to the blind from Nolan. Shot from Alain, patted away, and City working back as McKinnon. Speeding around the corner, being chased by Duplessis. Leaves it behind him there. City stealing, trying to go upstairs. By Throop, he tried to get that over to the other side. Stepping in, working his way to the middle. Here's Baskin, shooting, saved by Patty. Rodi getting angled out, trying to get possession. Here's Dufour stepping in, pass across. Robinson shoots and scores. Shot, rebound, Bellier just unable to corral it. Throop up to the blue line. Here's Lewis. Waits to the middle. One-timer denied by Patty way behind the net. McKinnon lays up a hit. McKinnon trying to throw it down deep. Taken away by the Rangers. Thought it had been the whistle pass. Rimmed along the boards. Trying to see Throop. Stepping back in. Robinson pass it in front. Dufour with a shot. Score. City leaving that one off for Duplessis. Duplessis working his way around the net with his backhand. Still with it. To the blue line. Roy has some space. Fires turned away. Oh, it's McQuaid. Trying to get that one over for Paulin, who was shoved up by Bellier. Puts it to the blue line. Kitchen with a shot. And that one, Bizo. Shot along that left side. Kitchen, pass to the middle. Robinson finding on his backhand. Shoots. Pass, and I tried to deflect it into the zone. Bizo across for Kosovu. Lead passes Bellier on a breakaway. Bellier turned away by Ruddy, unsuccessful in the draw. It's McQuaid trying to throw it back for Lewis. Robinson out in front. Ruddy shot. Another shot and denied. And barely retains possession. There's Basket trying to steer the puck away. Shot saved. Scrum out in front of. It's Muffet rather, sending it into the zone. Whoa. Trying to put it all on the boards. Taking that one away from Mosher. Step back up is Duplessis. Pass up for Olaby. Flyers defense just got off a change. Here's a shot. Turned away by the. Got less than 30 seconds left to play. McKinnon stepping in, waiting. Soft dish, the shot saved. Cole trying to look for the blue line. Kept in by Bizo. Sent high and over the head of Marshall Smith. Across, out of the reach of Roy, and now ends up with a for Jaye. Flyers break out of the zone cleanly. Dalal stepping in, makes his way past Lewis. Dalal with a shot, turned away by. That's going to be the first Flyer shot on goal this period. Another shot, patted. Blaqueer behind his own cage, pass out in front, turned away. There's a shot for the Moncton Wildcats of the QMJHL. Stepping in, drop pass from Bellier. Here's a sharp angle shot that hit. Goldman trying to poke it away from Steve's potential breakaway. It's Duplessis. Duplessis in, fires, saved, and they score. Dangerous looking pass. It's shot by Alain. Just getting by Lewis. Dalal. Out at the hash marks. The shot patted away. Going down for Nolan. Making a smooth curl, trying to step to the middle. Pass, Dalal scores. Flyers. Shot from Kitchen deflected, they score. That's Ruddy out in front. Getting the Jay clearing around O'Toole. Here's Ruddy. Ruddy skating up, might have a lane. Here's Ruddy into his backhand. Denied. Duplessis trying to step in, centers it out, working his way into Nolan. Drop pass. Duplessis has a shot, shoots and scores. Cross ice for his defense partner. Stepping up is Robinson. Robinson in the middle, leaving off for Ruddy. The shot scores. Another draw. Sent to the middle, trying to get that one over for McFadden. Skating back with it. It was Muffet almost turning it over. A shot denied by Baskin. Another. Throop leaving it off. Flyers with possession. Here's Roy. Waiting, shooting pad save. Rio had set out in front back door and they score. Behind him was O'Toole picking up and stealing the puck. Carson O'Toole stepping up the shot into the chest of Powers. Mosher, pass across, stepping up. Cole on Alain. The shot turned away by Pittman. Shot back out, 2-on-1. It's Mosher and Baskin. The shot off the waiting and getting poke checked by Mateo Roy. Pass up, turning that one over for Duplessis. Potential 2-on-1. Duplessis and Dalal. Dalal score. McKinnon firing. That one had been blocked by McFadden. Clear out to the blue line. There's a shot from Kosoboom, and that's caught. Trying to pass that off to the middle. It's Declan Steves now with it on the right. Pass over, working in, McFadden. Windmill Deke, and a shot. Boom, curls around in the left corner. Crosses over for McKinnon back behind his net. Pass through center, might be a break. Stepping in is Cole, and is taken away as Marshall Smith. Working through, leaving it off. Pass to the blue line. There's a shot turned away by Stevens. Pass through center, deflected by the skates of Duplessis. Skating back up with speed is Nolan. Nolan cutting in, dropped off for Duplessis. The shot turned away. O'Toole in the corner, trying to evade a couple men up to the blue line. McKinnon needs to shoot quickly, sends it off. O'Toole fires back in the zone. It's a net, turning it over, and almost a chance out in front. Skating it back is Smith out in the corner. He's hit by Roy to the blue line. McQuaid with a shot, and that one. Wade with a shot, and that one turned away by the blocker and or stick of Powers. Cleared by McKinnon off the boards, and we got a shooting in this one, not having much on it and missing left. Nolan recovers the rebound, steps in on the circle across for Jaillet, waits and shoots and scores. Cleared back in by Legier, behind the net, Radi in the corner. Sent up to the blue line, waits as a shot deflected, patted. Flyers bring it in. Paulin working his way around the shot, and they score. Stepping in, and just couldn't quite get a shot off with the pressure from Roy on defense. Pass across, here's McQuaid looking for a shot, another. Kitchen across for Jaillet. Jaillet steps in and shoots. Save, rebound, Nolan, another. That was McQuaid. And welcome back. It's the last Dieppe Flyers regular season game of the year, and they take on, as of right now, the #1 seed Moncton Hawks. They are 1 point away from each other. This game determines who secures first place. I'm Braden Lane here on the call from the J.K. Irving in Bouctouche. Between the Flyers and the Hawks, not absent from the lineup and the Flyers is assistant captain number 11, Dylan Dadal. And they have no one affiliating this game. Sliding into the lineup for the Moncton Hawks, defenseman wearing number 3, Elliot Blais. And forward, he's wearing number 2, that's Matteo Belanger. It starts with a quick icing against the Moncton Hawks, so we'll come back into the zone of the Moncton Hawks. And starting in net right there, number 33, For the Hawks, it's Cohen Boudreau. And it's number 35 for the Flyers. It's Yannick McGrath. Getting the last start behind the net. Battling for is Nolan. Passed out in front, trying to get the one over for Duplessis. Trying to work his way outside the zone was DeCons. It's Wallet. And Nolan down deep in the corner. Battling hard right up against the boards before it's shot out almost to the blue line for Alain. Kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan, turnaround shot right in front. He scores! And the Flyers are on the board first exactly 30 seconds into this game. Sam Nolan has his 99th point of the season and make it a solid even 50th goal. So make it 1-0 Flyers. An awkward bounce going in off the inside of the leg of Cohen Boudreau. He's going to want to have that one back. And the Flyers are up 1-0 early in this very highly anticipated game. It's Kitchen throwing it outside the zone past Aguilarni with a shot attempted from Mazarol that was blocked in a couple skates. Moving up, Aguilarni to the blue line. Blais with a shot that goes way above the net. Going to be kept in at the blue line by Richard. He throws it back in behind the net. Forward checking on it is Kitchen up against Mazarol. They both go crashing up against the boards. Dufour sends his man to the ground before Blais sends it back in. Dufour again on his backhand. Right up against the Riette line. Pinned up by Blais. There's McFadden. The puck sends and goes high up in the air. Players rushing back for it. It's Richard. Banking it off the boards. As quickly the Hawks rush up before it's dumped in by Frenette, and he goes off for a change. Whoa. Sent high into the zone. This one's going to go onto the net of Boudreau. Hawks try to quickly move it back the other way. Declan Steeves moving into the zone, but he's offside. That last Flyers goal, it's going to be Nolan from Alain at 19:30. Quickly shot in by the Hawks. Faceoff had gone to the left of Boudreau. Out in the corner, it's LeBlanc waiting before trying to throw it out of the zone. Blocked into the blue line between a couple skates. Taking it and moving it outside the zone is Maxime Morin. Speeding up the right side. Morin moving past Lejean. Morin in. Poked away by McGrath. Another chance. Blue line. Scott. Sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score! Miguel Bulk finding the backhand. And it's now 1-1. The Hawks successfully tie this game up. And it's Miguel Bulk coming up clutch for the Moncton Hawks. And he gets his 18th of the season. And he gets the equalizer. That's going to be from Alex Leblanc and Maxime Morin at 8:05 of this initial period. Alain behind the net, trying to move it by McGrath. Gets caught behind the net. There's a turnover, pass out in front. Trying to get a shot off was DeCons. And a great turnover managed by Belanger, creating a chance. And here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau with a rebound. Another pad save. Hawks quickly move it out with speed. And a big hit, almost sending Richard into the bench. He goes after Jackson Steeves before it gets dumped back in behind the net of Boudreau. Going out for it is Friolet. Making a pass, kept in by the Flyers. McFadden doing some good work before it's shot back along the boards, almost out of the zone. And the second attempt from Mazlarol gets it out into the zone of Dieppe. Whoa, D-to-D pass over to Kitchen. Flyers step in, it's McFadden. being shoved off by Fournette. Got around the wall before it's going to go up to, it looks like it's Mazarol, but it's stopped by Dufour. Richard trying to bank it up to Mazarol. It's Paulin disrupting and then sending it across. Here's Kitchen across the boards. The shot going behind the net. Turned across. Roy moving his way down into the corner, being shoved off by Aguilarni. Taken away Dufour to the blue line. Waits. There's a shot. Doesn't get through. McFadden waits. His shot just goes under the glove of Boudreau. Hawks skated out. Mazarol to the middle. Stepping up for net on Kitchen. Cleared him behind the net of McGrath. Kitchen again continues it along the wall. Dufour. And it looks like Kitchen get pinned up against the boards. Kept in by Blais with a shot that's turned away by the pad of McGrath. Leblanc getting it out. Trying to get that to Morin. A flyer goes falling down. It's iced, but stopped by Boudreau out in the net. Blais out in the corner. Hit by Dufour. Kept in. Robinson waits. Shoved off by Morin. They battle deep into the zone. Radier trying to move his way around the net. Cuts back into the opposite corner. Radier trying to find his way behind the net. Robinson waits. Throws it out in front. City with the shot. Here's Radier. And trying to find it on the opposite side. Radier behind the net. Waits. Shoved off by Marin. Leblanc there as well. City waits. Has a look to Declan Steeves, and it's right through his feet. And it stays in his feet as Bulka tried to poke it away from him. A collision out at center ice between two Flyers. It was Legel and what looks to be Radier. Hawks regroup. Being hit up against the board is Alexandre Leblanc. Shot back in by Nolan. Puck will now go into the corner. It'll emerge out and be thrown out by, looks like Bulk Jayet. Back checking into his own zone. Pressure from Morin. Off the boards. Caught in the middle by Richard. Cleared back in a long time without a whistle. Just getting more than 5 minutes of play done so far between the Dieppe Flyers and the Moncton Hawks. Speeding back in. Alain being shoved off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another save from Boudreau. Thrown back outside of the net. Another try. There's Nolan behind the net. Waiting. Still going behind the net. Try to go that one over to Jackson Steeves. Kept in. It's Friolet. Gonna ice it down. And an icing. A much needed whistle for the Hawks. Just getting hounded for this past minute. And that guy's stick right there on the right side of your screen, he has been busy. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot, save turned away by Boudreau. Dribble on the boards, Hawks battle at their own ringette line. A flyer goes down. They try to keep it in. It's sent out to the middle. Moving back toward the zone and is Roy. Pass it to the middle. McFadden. Poked loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Thrown up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit dangerously into the boards by Alexandre Leblanc. And that is going to be our first penalty call. So Flyers off to our first man advantage. For this hit from behind by Alexandre Leblanc. Roy to the middle. He starts the power play, quarterbacking. Goes to the right side, Duplessis. Waits, sends it across. There's a shot from Nolan that's blocked here in the skate to Duplessis. Back to the blue line. Roy waits. Nolan up against the left boards, hounded by Morin, and sends it outside the zone. That one's just out of the reach of the stick of Roy. And sloppy play in the Flyer zone. There's Bulk. causing a bit of disruption before the Flyers regroup and reset. Nolan walking into the zone, hits the brakes, goes up to the line for Matteo Roy. Waits, Nolan steps in, down low. Waiting is McFadden out in front, trying to get that one to Nolan. He swats it with one hand. Roy takes a slap shot, moves in, and will shoot it out into the corner. Being shoved off is McFadden. Duplessis stepping back in. Moving right up against the boards, trying to throw it up. It's taken away by Bulk. He'll skate it up, and a light flip will get it down to the length of the ice. Waiting. Roy, pass that hit off the skate of Jackson Steves, and will now give time for Scott to throw it back into the zone. Decons battling against the blue line against Rudis. Jackson Steves, Richal in there for the Hawks. So is Robinson. Still an undecided winner. There's Steves hitting Richard. Eventually taken up by Jackson Steves, so they try to work up the zone. Send it rink wide. Lijal waits, tries to cut to the middle, trying to make a pass. Power play almost expired, just under 10 seconds left into that. Moving in, Jaillet, the offensive defenseman, gets crunched up along against the boards and manages to stay on his feet. And face-off will go back to the zone of the Moncton Hawks. So far, a very strong game from the Flyers so far. Sent it in front before Scott ends up putting it behind the net. Jackson Steves in the left corner. In the offensive zone, he's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Lijal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered by Boudreau. But here, another good shot for the Flyers. Have been peppering Bowen Boudreau out in the Moncton Hawks crease. It's Friolet pinning up his man before it's shot out. This one may go for icing. It's not going on net, and they will indeed call it icing against the Moncton Hawks. They've had at least 3 so far, and these may be costly. Getting all these defensive zone draws, a reason why the Flyers have been able to suppress their opposition so far in this game with very limited time in their defensive end. Friolet behind the net. Wallet throws it along the wall for Mazarol. Trying to throw it out. It's just kept in by Nolan. Now gives time for Wallet to make a move. Tried to go off the boards for Mazarol. This one won't go for icing. Down the Flyers end, Alex Lijal moving around his cage on his forehand. Waits, threads up the middle. Lijal continuing, throwing it up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Look to have potentially have been held up. And we will have a penalty. Looks like it's going to be drawn by Duplessis. And it's Captain Marc-Olivier Wallet heading to the box, capturing it on our corner cam. So Flyers back to the man advantage. So far unsuccessful. They've had one chance, and that was an Alexandre Leblanc boarding call earlier, and now it's going to be a hooking call. That one coming up against Captain Marc-Olivier Wallet. Flyers go to work. It's Robinson battling up with Ruddy. That one was against Richal. Moving his way to the corner. Steves, and there's Robinson. Behind the net, he's bumped by LeBlanc and held. Jackson Steves with the puck out in the corner. Waits, goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaillet. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound goes high and up, and this one will just make it behind the net. Jackson Steves waits. Tries to curl around LeBlanc. Has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaillet moves his speed. There's a shot, blocked, rebound, backhander, and what a beautiful pad save from Boudreau. Now it's loose out front in the crease, no Flyers there. So down the ice it'll go. Cohen Boudreau so far numerous saves keeping the Moncton Hawks deadlocked at one. The only one that's gone by him was a shot from about the ringette line from Nolan. Flyer step outside the zone. Assistant captain McFadden stops at his own blue line, moves his way back into his own end. McFadden comes to a standstill behind his net, and we have too many men. There are 6 Flyers on the ice. We'll now head to a 38-second 4-on-4. Of a 38-second 4-on-4, and the Hawks will go to the man advantage for just under a minute and a half. Scott trying to send it down low. There's Roy tying up his man, being Mazarol, and going back the other way is McFadden. Pass in the middle. Nolan almost in all alone before it's swatted away by Boudreau. Nolan leaving it back down in the corner. Stepping up is McFadden, and it rolled over his stick. Now gives a chance for the Hawks to exit the zone. Mazarol passing across. Stepping up, Aguilarni. Out in the Hawks' offensive corner to the blue line. Waits, there's a shot from Richard that misses the net. Now a man advantage for the Hawks. Shot up, this one will go behind Boudreau. He leaves it off as the Hawks start up the rush. There's Ouellet making a pass up. The Cons clearing it in past McGrath. Held in at the blue line. The Cons, left hash marks on the offensive zone. Waits, goes up to the blue line. Here's Ouellet, freshly out of the box. DeCons waits. There was Jaya trying to block his shot and block the lane. Thrown it in front. This one gets past Richard. Audin, backhander, no looker to the blue line. And this one will go down the ice. An accidental clearance by the Hawks. There's Ouellet, sending it across over for his D partner, Nicolas Richard. Cleared out of the zone, but sent back in by the Flyers. So Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage. Trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway. Working in the shot and just wide of the net. Multiple players in the net. There's Paulin on top of Boudreau. Hawks are meanwhile going back the other way. Here's DeCons trying to step in. Spinorama around the Ruddy. Pass Morin. Waits. Backdoor. The shot just misses the net. What a play from DeCons and Morin, and just unable to tuck it home. And out of the box comes Duplessis. And almost a highlight reel goal from the Hawks. Just watch this spinorama by DeCons to get by Radier, and makes a perfect dish to Morin, who tried to find Maxime Richard backdoor. And he just didn't get enough and went wide. Blair with a shot that's caught down by the glove of McGrath. Blue line, it's Blair. Waits and throws it against the wall behind the net. Stopped by Roy. He quickly gets pressured up by Mazarol and Aguilarni. Attempted to keep it in the zone was Nicolas Richard. Goes back towards the other end. Blais makes a safe play, goes off the wall. This one's not going to be icing. Going up against McGrath. Stopping it with his stick, passing it up to Roy. Roy curling back in his own zone, trying to make it past Frenet. Throwing it in the middle. That's knocked down by a stick. Dufour's way offside. They'll finally delay that as Scott moves towards his own end. Hits the brakes behind his net. Has pressure. Out to be a turnover. McFadden trying to go around the net. It's City. Moving back towards behind the net. Hawks again now finding their way out of the zone. There's a big hit on Jaya, trying to send him into the bench. McFadden hits the brakes into the zone, throwing it across into the left corner. Steves, pressure from Scott, turns around, makes a nice pass to Dufour. To the blue line, Alain waits. Try to get that one back down for Steves. Alain back behind Jackson Steves. No longer to the blue line. Jaya stepping into the middle with a couple nice moves before he's poke checked off possession, and the Hawks go steaming back the other way. Moving up, Marin behind. Was skating from behind for a little bit and just end up losing the puck. Flyers step back the other way. Jackson Steves had been moving into the zone. Stepping back, Wallet. Throwing it across. This one out of the reach of LeBlanc. Held back in by Duplessis. Behind the net, Marin. Pass to captain Wallet. He waits before flipping it outside the zone. Glove down by Declan Steves and shot back into the zone. There's Boudreau covering it. He'll leave it off over. Or LeBlanc tries to throw it up against the wall. Flyers keep it in. Moving to the middle. Duplessis waits, shoots. That one's blocked right out in front by Wallet. Blue line, Steves. His shot goes over and hits the sideboards. Duplessis. Blue line, Steves waits and shoots in and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pads. Declan Steves with a shot that had missed the net, but banked off the boards and came out right behind the pad of Boudreau, not expecting it. Face-off gone to the left of Boudreau. Bélanger struggling for it in the zone. Friolet getting pinned up by City. Now it's Decons, who is currently fourth in the entire league in scoring as a first year. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save from McGrath. Was on the topic of Zion Decons, and the Hawks stepped up with a 2-on-1. It was Maxime Richard laying a perfect pass to Bélanger, and the glove is placed perfectly by Yannick McGrath to turn away. But it's definitely been the Hawks' best chance so far of the period. Kitchen, Bélanger in the corner. Dufoul stepping it out with the backhand off the boards. This one's thrown back in. And again, this one's going to go out of play by Aguilarni. Just over 4 minutes left. Brain Elaine with you on the call from the J.K. Irving 1-1 game so far between the Dieppe Flyers and the Moncton Hawks. On the face-off, it was Mazaral trying to bring it out. He had left this one off for Aguilarni, trying to steamroll his way by Roy. Mazaral, hash marks, trying to send that to Aguilarni behind the net. Ishal, trimmed against the boards, Mazaral. Throwing it back to where it just came from. Dufoul going up against Ishal and Aguilarni. And we'll get it outside the zone, thrown back in by Elliot Blais. Hitchin, behind his own cage, backhanded up, trying to get it out over to Paulin. They battle up along the board. It's Blais shooting it back in, deflected off a body, and we'll go to Mathieu Roy, and he'll make no mistake getting outside the zone. Hawks quickly turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out, intercepted by Paulin. Flyers step back in with it. There's a backhander that misses the net, not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufoul, and we'll go up against the pad of Boudreau, and he'll make no mistake covering it. Face off to the right of Boudreau, won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass, Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain, the shot, pad save. The rebound's cleared away by Morin. Hit on Nolan. Trying to retrieve the puck from Morin and Leblanc, both pinning back against the boards. Duplessis trying to work his way in. Hawks will eventually clear it out and will go for icing. And accidentally cleared down by Alcino. Flyers. Rather, the Hawks trying to initiate the breakout, ends up in center ice. Alcino being pinned up against the board before Jaya turns and makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaya across, the shot deflected, they score! And the Flyers get on the board, and they make it 2-1. And it's Miguel Duplessis, looked to have tipped that out in front, or that went off a stick of a Hawk and into the net. So an unfortunate bounce for the Hawks. Another one. Boudreau has been insanely sharp, except these random unlucky bounces. Declan Steves across the board to City. He makes way forward in the offensive zone. Decons behind the net, Friolet. Passed up, this will make it past Belanger. Thrown back in off the pad of Boudreau. Robinson, poke-checking his man and finding it out in the corner. To the blue line, Ligel, rink wide, Steves, the shot. This one's gonna miss the net. Robinson gets hit up against the glass. They fight for it in the offensive zone of the Flyers. Decons chucking it against the wall. This one will go over to Maxime Richard, who finds his way outside the zone. Gets tangled up with Declan Steves. There's Scott being hit up by Rodier. Drop back in. It's Ligel going around his own cage, waiting, leaving that on for Declan Steves. Steves, wait, banks up against the glass. This one will go over Richard. It's Dufour steaming in for the Flyers. Picking up, waits, gets bumped up against the boards by Blais. Is pinned along the boards. Roy in the seek help. Maxime Richard in there for the Hawks. It's McFadden trying to move its way out before it's shot off the glass and cleared by Aguilarni. This one not going to go for an icing. Roy moving his way behind the net. Banked off the boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it, McFadden stepping in. McFadden, the shot scores! And what a snipe from Bowden McFadden. And that'll make it 3-1 in favor of the home team, Dieppe Flyers. And he, as you can see, just moves in up against his target and snipes it to the top corner. That gets McFadden's 17th of the year and makes this game 3-1. And Nolan getting a point on the second Flyers goal assisted Miguel Duplessis' awkward bounce off the stick of a Hawk. There's Nolan putting him behind the net, and McFadden from Poland is your latest goal at 59 seconds of the first period. Loud crashing up against the boards. Shot out, and this one going to be gloved down by Jaillet off the clearance from Wallet. Back with it is Jaillet. Sending it across, stepping in, Jackson Steves trying to move that over to Jaillet. Morin, pass out, Alcino leaves it off, or for Bulk, trying to send it to the middle. That one intercepted and taken back the other way by Jaillet. Nolan leaving that off for Duplessis. Duplessis winds in, the shot blocked out in front by Wallet. Hawks move it outside. There's a hit on Bulk against Jaillet. And a big collision. Jaillet a little right to the face of Morin. And regardless, that ends our first period on a bit of a rough note. But it's the Flyers up by a score of 3-1 if you're just tuning in. First goal, Nolan from Alain. Hawks evened it up. Bulk from Leblanc and Morin. And Flyers with our last two, Duplessis from Nolan and McFadden from Poland. We'll be back in 10 minutes time for period 2 between the Flyers and the Hawks, brought to you by MST.
Quick shot, that's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post.
Blue line for Alain, kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan, another chance. Blue line, creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front, the shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound, another pad save off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound, another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot, saved, loose. Leblanc in the corner, being chased again by Bowden McFadden, throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose, taken up by Poland. He's hit in the offensive zone. He's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Legal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered. Up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits. Goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaillet. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaillet moves his speed, there's a shot, blocked, rebound, backhander, and a whoa. Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage, trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway, working in the shot, and just wide. Here's DeCons trying to step in. Spinorama around it. ID. Pass Monin. Waits. Backdoor the shot. Duplessis. Blue line. Steves waits and shoots. In and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save. Hawks really turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out. Intercepted by Paulin. Flyers misses the net. Not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass. Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain, the shot, pad save. The rebounds makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaya across. The shot deflected. They score. The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it, McFadden stepping in. McFadden, the shot, score!
Quick shot, that's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post on the empty net.
Blue line for Alain, kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan, turnaround shot right in front. He scores. Another chance. Blue line, Scott sent across. Nathan LeBlanc, the shot deflected. Rebound. They score. Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit in the offensive zone. He's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Legal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered. Up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits. Goes across up to the blue line. Waiting. Jaillet. Alain waits. Shoots. Saved by Boudreau. And the rebound has another spin while he's in the corner. Trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line. Jaillet moves his speed. There's a shot. Blocked. Rebound. Backhander. And a whoa. Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage. Trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway. Working in the shot. And just wide. Here's DeCons trying to step in. Spinorama around it. ID. Pass Monin. Waits. Backdoor the shot. Duplessis. Blue line. Steves waits and shoots. In and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save. Hawks really turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out. Intercepted by Paulin. Flyer misses the net. Not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass. Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain. The shot. Pad save. The rebounds. Makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaya across. The shot deflected. They score! The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it. McFadden stepping in. McFadden. The shot. Score!
Quick shot, that's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post on the empty net.
Blue line for Alain. Kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan turnaround shot right in front. He scores! Another chance. Blue line. Scott sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score! Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save. Off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit. In the offensive zone, he's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Lijal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits, goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaillet. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound. Has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaillet. Moves his speed. There's a shot. Blocked. Rebound. Backhander. And a Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage. Trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway. Working in the shot. And just wide. Here's DeCons. Trying to step in. Spinorama around the Ruddy. Pass Monin. Waits. Backdoor. The shot. Duplessis. Blue line. Steves. Waits and shoots. In and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save. Hawks really turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out. Intercepted by Paulin. Flyer misses the net. Not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass. Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain. The shot. Pad save. The rebounds. Makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaya across. The shot deflected. They score! The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it. McFadden stepping in. McFadden. The shot. Score!
Quick shot, that's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post on the empty net.
Blue line for Alain. Kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan turnaround shot right in front. He scores! Another chance. Blue line. Scott sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score! Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save. Off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit. In the offensive zone, he's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Lijal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits, goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaillet. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaillet moves his speed, there's a shot, blocked, rebound, backhander, and a whoa. Hawks struggling to leave their zone on this man advantage, trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway, working in the shot, and just wide. Here's DeCons, trying to step in, spinorama around the Radi, pass Monin, waits, backdoor the shot. Duplessis, blue line, Steves, waits and shoots, in and out of the glove, it's behind him, where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1, Richard Bélanger to Bélanger, the shot, what a save. Hawks really turn it back, Blais trying to throw it out, intercepted by Paulin. Flyers misses the net, not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass, Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain, the shot, pad save. The rebound makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaillet across, the shot deflected, they score! The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it, McFadden stepping in. McFadden, the shot, score!
Quick shot, that's blocked by the pant of the Hawks.
And at the end of the first period, Jamie Jaillet got a 4-minute forehead contact in that altercation. So the Hawks will see themselves on a double minor power play. Here's Richard being pressured by Lijal. It squeaks it over for DeCons. DeCons waits, moves around his cage. Is pressured by Roy. Moving his way all the way up to the blue line. Now facing Paulin before it's thrown out of the zone by Nolan. Got by goaltender Boudreau as the Hawks try to leave their zone to be kept in. The shot from Nolan is saved by Boudreau. That's one shorthanded shot for the Flyers and no shots on the power play so far for the Hawks. An offensive zone draw. Moving behind his net is Friolet. Passing up, Book. He dishes that one off to Aguilarni in the middle. Stepping up, and he's offside. Mazarol just getting a bit too jumpy. Leblanc off the face-off win. Clearing in behind McGrath. Stepping out with it, Richard. Blue line, Friolet on the left side. Rink wide, Leblanc waits, fires into the glove of McGrath, in and out. Rebound is sent out into the corner. Aguilarni pressuring up Declan Steves. Passing it across, Richard. Behind the net again, Aguilarni. Evades Alain. The shot just misses wide of the net. Leblanc at the blue line, waits. Goes down low up against the wall. It's Bulk waiting, trying to move his way to the center. Leblanc, blue line, waiting, cutting in the shot. Saved in and out of the glove of McGrath once more. Behind the net, Aguilarni to the side of the net. They score! And the Hawks have scored on their man advantage, and they'll still have 2 minutes. It's Mazarol that's going to get credited with the goal. With 2:29 left to go on their man advantage, it's a shot from LeBlanc from the blue line. In and out of the glove of McGrath, and Mazarol tucks it in behind him. It looks like rather it's Aguilarni tucking it behind McGrath, and Alexandre Mazarol finds it right up loose in the blue paint and stuffs it in the net. For now a 3-2 game. And still 2 minutes left to go on the Hawks man advantage. Nolan stepping up into the draw against Decons. Point leaders from each team. Buzzer goes off. Looks like this might be a false alarm. We'll try that again. The Hawks now get 1 second left on their man advantage. Clock had ticked down 1. Nolan and Decons in the face-off circle. Again. Off the top, it's brought in by Decons before quickly stick checked by Roy. Curling back in his own end, Morin. To the middle, Richard. Cleared in, this one goes behind for McGrath. Leaving it off for his defense, and it's shot out off the body of, looks like that's Nicolas Richard, and the Hawks will now have a reset. Decons curling back in his own end, waits, moves through center. Tries to move it past Nolan, and waiting there is Lejeune, who claps it back down up against the boards. Pass attempt, trying to get that one over for Richard. Moving behind the net is Roy, clearing it along. It'll just be held in by Wallet. Wallet cleared him behind the net. Trying to move for it, Roy. Behind the net, Decons, sharp angle, shot, scores! With some surgical precision, he lifts it to the top shelf. And the Hawks have now evened it up, scoring twice on a 4-minute man advantage. Zion Decons had a sharp angle, saw a very limited room, and took the shot anyway. So the last goal coming at 18-28. It's going to be Grayson Aguilarni unassisted, and this one's going to go to Decons. We'll see about any assists. Wallet skating for it off the boards right next to the Flyers bench. It's Nolan clearing it in, moving in as Jackson Steeds. He's in offside. Face-off win. Wallet sends it across for LeBlanc. Cleared in by Jackson Steves. Around the net, Wallet. Shot up. Flyers keep it in. It's Nolan. Sam Nolan stepping in to his backhand. Saved by Boudreau. The rebound is sent right out, loose on the blue paint. Boudreau down, right out in front. Slap the shot. They score! The Flyers take the lead again. It's Jamie Jaye from a shot from the blue line. There's Sam Nolan just throwing it to the blue line. Jaye steps in with the shot. It takes a deflection. It looked like it had been off Jackson Steves. And just takes a weird hop into the net. This one's going to be Jaye assisted by guess who? Sam Nolan, his third point of the night. That gets him up to an outstanding 105 on the season. Friolet from the blue line. Cleared in. Behind the net, Marin. Gates up, goes to the blue line. Scott. Back to Marin. Pressure from Rodier. Marin curls around. Now gives it away to Rodier. Trying to shoot it out. That one in the feet of Scott. Scott, after a good effort to keep it in, it's now sent back into the Flyers' end. Hawks, now it's some offensive zone time. Friolet waiting, trying to get a shot off. There's Rodier with a shot. Whoa, with a big hit. That one up against Book. Neither one of them falling to the ground. City battling with Rodier. In the feet of, I believe that's Mare. Hard to tell. Whoa. Out in the corner. His body checked off the puck and now freely escapes the zone. He has City with him. Matteo Roy trying to outspeed Mare. Now try to nifty dangle before shooting it into the zone. Scott throwing it across. Alcino trying to find it in his feet. Battling with McFadden trying to make a nice move. Now it's sent to the middle. Mare one-on-one against Roy. Mare waits, pass, try to get one the Book. And two men on him. A shot probably the better option. Bélanger with a backhand that misses the net. Bélanger, blue line. Waiting, Blais. And that one flipped into the glove of McGrath. Dropping the blue line glove down by McGrath right off the draw. That's Elliot Blais. From the blue line, he's played 7 games so far with this Moncton Hawks squad and is still in search of his first point. Has come close numerous times. There's, like right there, a shot that McGrath is able to track down all the way through, even with some traffic out in front. Walking down, there's a shot that's over the cage, right up in front. The rebound, Richard poking at it. McGrath is down. And the puck's behind the net, but whistled down. Kakan's off the draw. Winning it, going behind his own, behind the net of the Flyers is Vishal. No look backhand down for DeCons. Waiting, going up to the blue line. There's a shot from Leblanc that's blocked by Jackson Steves. DeCons now with the rebound. Pass it in front. Richard trying to get a shot off, and that one blocked by Deschamps. He'll barely fail to keep it in. Shot back out. DeCons stepping back in. DeCons, what a move. All alone, DeCons, the shot scores! Another highlight reel goal from the kid. It's Zion DeCons moving his way around 2 Flyers defensemen. And what couple moves. Faking going to his forehand, moves it to his backhand, steps in and makes no mistake going through the 5-hole of Yannick McGrath. And he now ties it up for the Hawks. A high-scoring game so far. 4-4. Haven't gone to the middle of the second period. Looks like that's an offside call. Brenet off the draw. Takes a weird hop and goes to City. Friolet off the glass, stepping in, trying to get it as Aguilarni. He was upended by Alain. Robinson trying to work his way past Friolet. Alain clearing it into the zone. Behind the net is Scott. Rimming it around before it ends up getting back to Radier, who is then hit up by Aguilarni. Alain back across, Aguilarni behind the net. It's loose, attempted clear. Flyer step it back in. Here's Radier trying to get a shot off, and that one never went through. Radier against Friolet. They crash up against the boards into the corner. It's quickly sent out and rimmed along against the board. Shot back out by Scott, making a nice pass. The Hawks are able to clear out of the zone. Frenet leaving it behind him. Aguilarni stepping in. Toe drag shot saved by McGrath, and that one hops up above the net. Collision involving Alain behind the net. Jaillet trying to run over his man, being Mazaral. He had fallen down and was sitting right next to him. Here's Jaillet stepping out with speed. Jamie Jaillet working up the right wing, cutting to the middle. He's offside, and a shot into the glove of Boudreau. That wasn't until after the whistle. In a very tight game, it's 4-4. McFadden, look, they've been tripped up. The shot, rebound, and just sent wide of the net off the pad of Boudreau. Again, another close call for the Flyers. Hawks step in. It was Bulk, looking like he had been held for a moment. Shot back in, glove down by Richard. Trying to go up to the blue, and that one's poked by Paulin up against the boards. He's hit by Alsano, not before it gets out over to the Hawks blue line. Shot back in, this one over Kitchen, who had tried to hop up and get it. Arsenault clearing back and breaks some ankles of the Flyers. There's a shot deflected, that one just wide of the net. Blue line, Leblanc kicks it across for Blais. Morin behind for Roy, it's Bulk in the corner, being hounded by Roy, goes behind Morin. Waiting, there's Roy again, guarding his corner. Up to the blue line, Paulin tried to extend his stick. There's Wallet making no mistake, trying to move it back into the zone. Potential 2-on-1 now for Dieppe. McFadden and Dufour. McFadden stepping in, the shot denied by Boudreau. And a quick icing against the Hawks. Face off right of Boudreau. Radier tying up City. Backhander to the blue line for Jackson Steves. That's Declan Steves, rather. Cleared in. We go right next to the corner. Radier battling up. Robinson there as well. The Cons reaching in for the Hawks. Still pinned up along against the boards. Eventually freed to Cons, trying to rim it against the boards. Radier finding his way to the middle and taken away by the Hawks. Poked back. It's Robinson. It's Wallet. Belanger clearing it in. It's going to roll softly. For McGrath, lays a nice pass to Duplessis, but knocked off the leg of the linesman. Flyers within their own end. Steves, shot up. This one off the leg of the ref, so it won't go for icing. Friolet working back off the boards. Bélanger on the right, trying to get it to Decons. Stepping in, throwing it behind the net of the Flyers for Jaillet. Jaillet, pass up Duplessis. Duplessis skating up 1-on-4. Behind the net, Friolet again. Backhanded, taken away by Nolan. Nolan waits, tries to throw that out to the middle. Goes up to the blue line. Alain. Down low. Nolan, the shot. That one's blocked. Duplessis. Along the wall, Alain. Nolan waits, shoots, and a save made by Boudreau. The net so far has only led a couple unlucky bounces in. The first one going off the inside of his skating, and second off the stick of a teammate, and third, and the latest Flyers goal believes so as well. A lot of unlucky bounces off the Hawks so far in this game, equalizing it 4-4. Hawks into the zone, cleared in by Aguilarni. Behind the net, it's Anne throwing it up against the boards, trying to make his way by Mazarol. Paulin pressured up. He's battling away with, I believe, that's Bulk that had been down low. Flyers quickly exit the zone. Pass across, Jaillet. Jaillet stepping up at speed. The shot turned away by Boudreau. And Jaillet again, an offensive defenseman known for generating rushes. Moving up on his own and thinking shot all the way. Kitchen. Cleared in. It's around for Friolet behind the net. Kicked around before Roy comes up and pinches down low. Thrown back into the blue line. This one will quickly exit the zone. It's Kitchen at his own blue line, waiting up against the boards. Pass back up the Flyers. Entering with speed. It's Nolan. Moving up the right side. Nolan cutting in. The shot. Save. Rebound. Another stop by Boudreau. Behind the net once more. Jackson Steves. Pressured by Friolet. Goes up to the blue line. Roy waits. Shoots. That one's blocked. Goes high in the air and is gloved down. Flyers again with a chance. Jackson Steves with a shot. Turned away by Boudreau. Duplessis. Looked like he thought that one in. And another great chance for the Flyers. Have been saying it all night. Watch out when Nolan is rushing like this. He will move anyone in his path. And there's a rebound right on Boudreau. He dives across to make the save. Got the last little bit of it in there. Hawks bank it up against the glass. This one may be icing. It'll go down and will go for ice. Players with some multi-point nights. Decons has 2 goals for the Hawks. Maxime Richard and Maxime Morin both have 2 apples so far in this game. And for the Flyers, Nolan, he has 3 points so far. That is it for the Flyers. He has 1 goal and 2 assists so far, helping his team get to this point. It's 4-4 with just over 8 minutes left in this second frame. Hawks in their own offensive zone. Dacon's the shot, and that one ends up high and above the netting. Face-off going back into the Flyers' defensive zone, a place they haven't been too familiar with so far this season. They're a very balanced team, having insane offense and some shutdown D. The Flyers end. Jaya, backhander. That one in the legs of the official, trying hard to get out of the way. Jaya into the corner. Waits, goes up against the boards. This one above Blev, but glove down. Backhand against the boards, moving in. Jaya with speed once more, moving in. The shot blocked out in front. Dufour battling him in the corner. It's shot along. Going after it, Paulin. Then back, McFadden now chasing after it behind the net. Cleared out by the Hawks into the center. Ligel will throw it up against the boards. Moving forward is Blais of the Hawks. Rimmed around. Hawks again trying to move it out. McFadden backhanded in, and this one will just miss the net. There's a loose stick out. Looks like it's from the Hawks. Cleared out by Nicolas Richard. And this one again, an icing up against the Moncton Hawks. So Flyers up by 1 point in the standings, an almost identical record. Both have 27 wins, and the Hawks have 6 regulation losses. The Flyers with 5 losses and a tie, bringing them 1 point up of the Hawks. So if they win this game, they will clinch first seed in the playoffs. Stepping up, Alcino. That had been swatted away by Alain, cleared back in by the Hawks. Book waits and shoots. That one deflected wide by the stick of Radier. Against the boards, Roy banked it along the wall, but shot back in. Morin turn around fire, and that one misses the cage. Morin again behind the net, wraparound attempt, and just didn't go. Maxime Morin. Again, he is a player that has had numerous very good scoring chances and has had 2 assists for his team. We've seen him set up 2 of the goals so far. Roy, turn around, backhander. And that one just wide of the crease. Duplessis moving his way behind his own cage, pressured up by Friolet. Still working along the wall before it's sent out by the Moncton Hawks. Big collision. Duplessis sends down Arsenault. No one trying to move in with a loose puck deke. And that one blocked and shot back by number 88, Teo Friolet. Stopping Sam Nolan cleanly. Something that is a very challenging task for teams to do. And here's the wraparound try from Morin. They saw between the legs of Leblanc. Eventually clears it up. This one gloved down by Jaillet off the clearing attempt from Bélanger. McFadden thrown back in behind the net of Boudreau. Waits, stops, leaves it off for Wallet. Flyers will keep it in with a shot from Jaillet that's deflected dangerously close to the net. Here's Leblanc. Throwing it back across. This one to stay in the zone before being brought out by Richard. Was Maxime Richard with the pass. Jaillet up with speed. Jamie Jaillet working it on Leblanc. Was poke checked off. Now finds it near the corner. The shot padded away by Boudreau. Cleared back in by the Flyers. That one goes around the boards. Will find its way just short of the hash marks. Dufour trying to whack it back in. Blue line. Ligel fakes the shot. Now shoots. And it's turned away by Boudreau in the net. Roy off the successful winning draw, trying to go behind the net. Duplessis was pinned and still getting pinned by LeBlanc. Aguilarni goes up and pins his man, being Nolan. Nolan trying to fork his way out in the middle, and it's the Hawks rather that end up taking possession. Aguilarni through center, being whacked at, still with possession before taken away by Nolan. Nolan up with speed, trying to make his way past LeBlanc. Nolan around the net, still with it. Now looks for an option, throws out the front, they score! It's Sam Nolan again from around that same spot where he got his first. Again, not the prettiest goal you'll ever see, but they'll count. Going upstairs on Boudreau from a very sharp angle. And that makes it 5-4 for the Dieppe Flyers in this game. Kitchen going across for Declan Steves. Behind the net, the Hawks try to clear it out. Alcino trying to play that off over for Moncton, that had got caught in the feet of Nolan. Hawks off the glass, getting past Kitchen is Arsenault, but it's hit down the high stick. Nolan winning another draw. Kitchen going to try a shot that goes in between the feet of one, but stops off the stick of Boudreau in between the pipes. Duplessis sharp angle. The shot turned away by Boudreau. Steves with a shot. That one blocked out in front by the sliding Frenet. Nolan trying to backhand one off over for Jackson Steves. It's Moncton speeding back in against Declan Steves. The shot deflected and will end up into the protective netting. Here's a shot right off the draw. And the Flyers, so far this game and all season, have been very successful in the face-off dot. In every game, winning the majority of their draws and starting off with possession. Violet battling with Roddy. Jackson Steves present as well. Robinson had it for a little bit, but had been whacked off his stick. Brought it back in by Scott. Dieppe for City. Locked in by Samuel Scott. Violet outside the blue line, throws it back behind the cage of McGrath. Flyers try to clear out the zone. It's City trying to throw that up for Nolan. Back up shot back in by the Hawks. Shot by Jaillet, glove down by Boudreau. And he'll successfully catch it down. And Sam Nolan now gets his second goal. Combined with 2 assists, 4 points on the night so far, and just getting to the final stages of period 2. Alain trying to swerve around in the corner. Dufour sends it up. Alain to the middle, and that one hopping over the stick of Duplessis. A big crash up against the boards. Got back in by the Flyers behind the net. Wallet waits, stops, and tries to move it out. At the blue line, Jaillet trying to truck his way through a man. Continues to stand tall with the puck in between his feet. It's loose and will go into the corner. Behind the net, it's LeBlanc pressuring up McFadden. There's LeBlanc going for a hit on Dufour. McFadden battling behind. They're just loose up behind the cage. They flyer down. It looks like it's McFadden down on the ice. LeBlanc, Wallet, and Aguilarni in for the Hawks. out behind the net off the back end of Wallet. Back behind the net, Wallet and Duplessis. Battle on as they make their way into the corner. Up to the blue line, Flyers with possession. Nolan waits and throws it along the boards behind, almost behind the cage. Wallet moving out in front, was dangerously close to the slot. Now the Hawks move it back the other way. DeCons, the pass almost perfectly to Mudda. Would have had a 2-on-1, but the Flyers go back the other way with speed. Duplessis working up, loose out in front, and the Flyers never get a shot off. And sent out of play off a collision with two sticks. So far, a very intense and exciting game. If you're just tuning in, the goals in the second period started off with two Hawks goals. To tie it up was Aguilarni and DeCons. And Jaya quickly scored for the Flyers. DeCons again for the Hawks. And Sam Nolan most recently at 4:05, getting the Flyers back ahead in the driver's seat. Perwa and Morin just inside the blue line with a stick battle, shot out, and this one looks to not be going for an icing. It's Legel. Waiting, thrown back, Morin. Behind, Richard. Trying to put that out in front where Aguilarni was almost waiting right there. Lee shot all the way down. And this one, we go for an icing. And a nice little play there. Friolet to tap it up twice and glove it down. Just 15.3. Gonna need a quick face-off win. DeBlanc, the shot blocked by Steves. And that is definitely stinging. And Duplessis goes back the other way. He shoots, saved by Boudreau. That leaves just 4.6 seconds left. And here we go, a bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle involving Sam Nolan. Now we go to the last 5 seconds. The Flyers now turn the table. Now they need a quick face-off win and a shot. The Hawk getting kicked out of the draw. It's Richard didn't take the place. There's a quick win by Nolan behind the net from Jaya, and they're not going to end up getting a shot off. And that ends our second frame. It's the Flyers 5 and the Hawks 2. Stick around, 10 minutes, third period action of a 1-goal game. The battle for the first spot of the league in New Brunswick. It's Flyers and Hawks 1-goal game. Brought to you by MST.
Quick shot. That's blocked by
Blue line for Alain. Kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan, turnaround shot right in front. He scores. Another chance. Blue line. Scott sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score. Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at 1 so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Thrown up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit in the offensive zone. He's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Legel. The shot deflected, saved, and covered up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits. Goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaillet. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaillet moves his speed, there's a shot, blocked, rebound, backhander, and a whoa. Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage, trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway, working in the shot, and just wide. Here's DeCons trying to step in, spinorama around the ID, pass Morin, waits, backdoor the shot. Duplessis, blue line, Steves waits and shoots in and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save. Hawks really turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out. Intercepted by Paulin. Flyers misses the net. Not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass. Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain. The shot. Pad save. The rebounds. Makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaillet across. The shot deflected. They score. The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it. McFadden stepping in. McFadden. The shot. Score.
Quick shot, that's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post on the empty net.
Blue line for Alain, kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan, turnaround shot right in front. He scores. Another chance. Blue line, Scott sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score. Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaillet. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit in the offensive zone. He's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Lijal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits, goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaillet. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaillet moves his speed. There's a shot, blocked, rebound, backhander, and a whoa. Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage, trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway, working in the shot, and just wide. Here's DeCons trying to step in, spinorama around the ID, pass Morin, waits, backdoor the shot. Duplessis, blue line, Steves waits and shoots in and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save. Hawks really turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out. Intercepted by Paulin. Flyers misses the net. Not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass. Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain. The shot. Pad save. The rebounds. Makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaillet across. The shot deflected. They score. The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it. McFadden stepping in. McFadden. The shot. Score.
Quick shot. That's blocked by the pant of the Hawks. And hits the post on the empty net.
Blue line for Alain, kept out. There's a shot that just misses the net. Nolan, turnaround shot right in front. He scores. Another chance. Blue line, Scott. Sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score. Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save. Off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner. Being chased again by Bowden McFadden. Throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose. Taken up by Poland. He's hit in the offensive zone. He's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Lejeal. The shot deflected, saved, and covered. Up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits. Goes across up to the blue line. Waiting. Jaillet. Alain waits. Shoots. Saved by Boudreau. And the rebound. Has another spin while he's in the corner. Trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line. Jaillet moves his speed. There's a shot. Blocked. Rebound. Backhander. And a Hawks struggling to leave their zone on this man advantage. Trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway. Working in the shot. And just wide. Here's DeCons. Trying to step in. Spinorama around the Radi. Pass Monin. Waits. Backdoor the shot. Duplessis. Blue line. Steves waits and shoots. In and out of the glove. It's behind him. Where is it? It's right between his pass. Definitely a prospect to look up to for the Q. 2-on-1. Richard Bélanger to Bélanger. The shot. What a save. Hawks really turn it back. Blais trying to throw it out. Intercepted by Paulin. Flyers misses the net. Not by much. Paulin throwing it in front off the feet of Dufour. Boudreau won by the Flyers. Alain down for Duplessis. Drop pass. Alain stepping in. Xavier Alain. The shot. Pad save. The rebounds. Makes way back towards the opposite end. Jaya across. The shot deflected. They score. The boards by Kitchen. This one will get just by Blais. It's a foot race for it. Winning it. McFadden stepping in. McFadden. The shot. Score. Blue line for Alain. Another chance. Blue line. Scott sent across. Nathan LeBlanc. The shot deflected. Rebound. They score. Creating a chance, and here come the Flyers up with speed. It's Nolan moving in. Nolan to the front. The shot turned away by Boudreau. The rebound. Another pad save. Off by Friolet. They both go up into the corner. Nolan throwing that out in front. Gonna go up to the blue line. Barely kept in by Jaya. The shot turned away. Rebound. Another. Boudreau making tons of saves, keeping his team deadlocked at one so far. Flyers the shot. Saved. Loose. Leblanc in the corner, being chased again by Bowden McFadden, throwing up the wall. Frenet leaving it in his feet. It's loose, taken up by Poland. He's hit in the offensive zone. He's bumped by Scott before he throws it to the blue line. Lijal, the shot deflected, saved, and covered up to Duplessis. Duplessis working his way in. Looked to have potentially have been held up. Waits, goes across up to the blue line. Waiting, Jaye. Alain waits, shoots, saved by Boudreau, and the rebound has another spin while he's in the corner, trying to throw it away over for Alain. To the blue line, Jaye moves his speed, there's a shot, blocked, rebound, backhander, and a whoa. Hawks trying to leave their zone on this man advantage, trying to curl back. Here might be a breakaway, working in the shot, and just wide. Here's DeCons trying to step in, spinorama around the Ruddy, pass Morin, waits, backdoor the shot. Duplessis, blue line, Steves.
And it's time. It's period 3 between two tightly contested teams.
They're in the top two in the league, separated by just one singular point. The Flyers have that upper hand right now in the standings and in this hockey game, up by a score of 5-4. In the left corner, it's Wadet throwing it across. Nolan with a sharp angle shot, trying to get his third sharp angle shot to find the net. Jai with a shot. That's loose before it banks off the pad of Boudreau. And now the Hawks will find a way to clear. Scratch that. It was cleared back in by the Flyers before being shot out once more by the Hawks. Flyers sustaining pressure. It's Nolan pass to the middle. And Jackson Steves gets rubbed out of the play. Morin pass across Richard, moving up with speed, trying to get across Kitchen, the cross ice pass, and Morin tangled up with Roy. Morin going back into his own end. Skating back, Friolet making a pass to Richard. That doesn't go for icing, it was just deflected. Kitchen on the wall for Roy, turned over, moving away to the front. DeCons wraparound attempt with a chance from Bulk that had the puck back door and never had a chance to get a shot off. Kitchen and Bulk behind the net. Roy waits, flips it high, almost hits the scoreboard. Will end up going on net for Boudreau. He'll send it across over to the left boards. Friolet back in his own end. Pass up DeCons. Up against the wall, Leger going back towards his own end, waits, getting hounded by Mazarod, throws it off the boards in between the legs of Paulin. McFadden had lost it between his legs, and there was Paulin to grab it from him. Paulin with Friolet. Behind the net now is Scott. Puck goes crashing up against the boards. Now brought out by Mazarol. Pass across Bulk. He has the first goal in this game and is looking to make that 2. Slap shot off the bar and out. What a howitzer from Miguel Bulk. Wind it up and hits the crossbar. Beat McGrath, but not the iron. There's a shot out in front. They score! One-timer. Can't quite tell who got it. It looks like it's Nicolas Richal right there for the Hawks with a one-timer right in the slot area. And he makes no mistake of burying it and tying it up for the Moncton Hawks. Rodier tried to step in, shot out by Ouellet. Blocked by a body. Ouellet's going to have another try, going to go around LeBlanc. Back for Ouellet. Now shoved up against the boards right in front of our corner camera. There's Rodier being pinned up. It's Aguilarni who was pinned up. Lowry Shaw makes a nice pass to get out to the middle. Jaya stepping in across the blue line. Jaya waits and fires. That one's blocked out in front. Jaya now behind the net. Applying some forechecking as a defenseman. Robinson was playing some defense. Now moves it by Morin. Gets shoved up against the glass. Now there's City. Throwing it across the boards. And City looks to be in a bit of discomfort as it's now Alexandre Leblanc throwing it across. This one deflects off of or Bork. Down, Flyers move their way back. Roy. Pass out, shot back in by Friolet off the shin pads of Nolan as he now steps out into the middle. Morin. Backhanded back. This will go to Bulk, who will play it off over to the right boards. Nolan. Being shoved up against Home Hardware. Now behind it, Scott. Up against the boards. Morin and Nolan. Back again. Hawks through the zone. Morin up the right. Has Bulk with him. Trying to move his way around Kitchen. Sharp angle shot. Scores! And the Hawks have taken the lead. A shot that McGrath is definitely going to want back. It's Morin getting the Hawks into their first lead of the night. Maxime Morin just stepping in with a shot. Goes through the 5-hole of McGrath. Olin. Passing it back to his D partner. Roy now trying to clear around to Cons. Throw it up against the wall. Blocked back in by Ouellet. Roy going to have another try. This one out to center. Clapped back in by Ouellet. Will go off the stick of Roy. Into the corner of the Flyers defensive end. Kitchen. Trying to go behind the net or for Richal. Out in front to Cons. The shot turned away by McGrath. Declan Steves trying to work his way behind the net. DeCons. Thrown back. Flyers step outside their zone. Duplessis trying to work his way past Ouellet. Leaving it off. Rodier 2-on-1. Rodier, the shot just missing wide of the net. Had tried a shot. Never had left the surface of the ice and just missed the right post. Hawks now clear the zone. DeCons stepping up through the middle. Moving up against Ligel of the Flyers. Declan Steves behind the net. Waits. Had juked out Bulk. Duplessis. Passed up. Aguilarni now putting it back into the zone. Cleared back in. Bulk. Off his backhand to Scott. Got it back for Bulk. Bulk trying to step up. Pokes it by a couple. Now goes to McGrath. He hammers a shot off the glass. Nolan stepping in. Sam Nolan against LeBlanc. Nolan, the shot deflected by the stick of LeBlanc and goes high and into the netting. And face-off to be taken by Aguilar Knee. He was going up against McFadden. One by McFadden. Jaya stepping in, shoots, and that one never got through. Robinson trying to put it down low. Rimmed up against the boards. Hawks exit the zone, work their way into the neutral zone. Stepping up, Aguilar Knee losing possession of the puck, still finds it out in the corner. Now banging up against the Zamboni doors. Pass out in front, it's banked off the knee of a Hawk and will go down to the other end of the ice. Bulk, that's Boudreau rather, coming outside the net. Nolan Robinson trying to find his Hawk in between his feet. Here's a chance, pass to the middle. The shot poked away by Boudreau, potentially stopping a goal and almost a breakaway for the Hawks. Flyers win a draw. Roy shooting. That one misses the cage. Kitchen fails to clear it in. It's a one-on-one. Skating at what speed? Monin waits, shoots. Denied by McGrath. Wallet shooting it back. Wall behind his own cage, running around for Radier. Cleared back in by the Hawks. Just less than 13 and a half left. Hawks are up 6-5 on the Flyers. Kitchen passing it back through. Cleared behind the net. Matteo Roy waits on his backhand. Sends it across Duplessis. Trying to work his way in, and it looks like we got too many men, and this one's going to go against the Moncton Flyers, the Moncton Hawks rather. So we will see the Flyers head back to the man advantage. Their first man advantage on the while. Last one was in the middle stages of the first period. Going to be Landon Arsenault going ahead to serve the penalty. The Flyers off to the man advantage for 2 minutes. Duplessis to the quarterback, Matteo Roy. Waits, gets it back, playing a nice game of catch, throwing it to Paulin. Nolan, Roy, the shot, never got through all the way. Richard put to the blue line, stopped by Roy. A shot again denied by Boudreau, and this one cleared out by the Hawks. And we've had two of the Dieppe Flyers. They've suited up this season for the Moncton Flyers, playing a couple games. Matteo Roy had his chance earlier in the season, and their first round, or the second round rather, against the Caps. There's a shot from McFadden that just is denied by Boudreau. In the second round of the Moncton Flyers playoffs, and in their attempt to represent New Brunswick, number 14, Sam Nolan, got a couple games up in U18 AAA. Now a 3-on-2. Nolan stepping up. Sam Nolan behind the net. And here's the chance earlier. McFadden with a chance right out in front. And Boudreau coming up strong. And the last time these two teams met each other was back earlier in the month of March at the Uniplex, and the Hawks took a 5-3 victory. The Flyers look to get revenge. They're down by 1, getting to midway into the third period. A well-played game by both teams. Some lucky goals squeaking through. But ultimately, at the moment, Hawks are up by 1. It was Ale pinching and trying to make his way down in the zone. Paulin unable to hold the zone. Stepping up, DeCons working in. The shot never got through, blocked by Jaillet. Power play now expires. Now full strength. Cleared by the backhand of City. They're just going to wave this icing off last second. Hawks regroup. It's Scott trying to pass on up for Bulk, and this one will
Be called ice.
passes up, cleanly exiting the zone. It's Bulk deflecting it in, and this one not going to be called icing. It's McGrath going out to play it. Aguilarni, blue line. LeBlanc, drop back in, dropped down by a stick. Loose puck, Hawks recover possession. LeBlanc waiting, shooting, and wide of the net it goes. Briolet up against the hash marks. He's bumped off by Dufour. Puck battles along in the corner of the Flyers. This one to the left of McGrath. Still not being blown dead. Arsenault's in there for the Hawks. Finally comes loose. It's the Flyers victorious. McFadden has some time and space. He's going to use it. McFadden stepping in. Cross ice pass. The shot turned away by Boudreau. And a collision. The ref, a Flyer and a Hawk, is down. Dufour pass. Declan sees one-timer just over the cage. A beautifully set up play. And Arsenault is going to clear it down the ice. And another icing call going against the Moncton Hawks. To the right of Boudreau. Behind the net, Wallet. Turned along the boards. Hawks move away with speed. Maximilian Shaw waiting, shooting, and denied by the chest of McGrath. Flyers first line comes out. It's Nolan, Duplessis, and Jackson Steves. The Hawks keep possession, throwing it back into the zone. Mateo Roa waiting behind the cage. Passing up the right wing, Duplessis. Waits against Wallet, throws it to the front. Nolan rebound, and a shot denied and robbed by the glove of Boudreau, who saw it the entire insanely clutch for the Hawks, especially right there. Nolan with some time in the slot, something you never want to do. Off the face-off, it's rimmed around in the zone. Passes it up. Bulk, his pass, intercepted by City. Clears it in, pass to Shaw. Shaw around for Wallet, up for Bulk, who will shoot it just a bit too far. It looks like this one will get
Do icing.
And the Flyers only tie. There was a shot from Roy that had come dangerously close to going in. The Flyers' only tie of the entire season came at the only other game they had in this very arena. It came to a 3-3 tie between them and the Fredericton Caps. And that came earlier. It was a 4-4 tie on January 25th here at the JK. Hawks escape their own zone. It's Arsenault leaving that one off for Richard. Richard stepping in. Roy. Around the net it goes. Shoved off. Hawks regain possession. Blue line, Friolet. Makes a wide decision going behind the net. Jaillet. Off for McFadden. Up against the boards. Pass Dufour. Friolet. Dumped back into the Flyers' end. Time to get some changes for the Moncton Hawks. LeBlanc hit up against Dufour. Not before he could clear it into the Flyers' blue line. Or checking back for it is LeBlanc. Around the wall, Mazarol. Shoved off by Nolan, who tried to get that to Gons. Working up, Robinson with the shot. That's Nolan, rather, with the shot, ramping up the stick and high of the net. Face off back to the left of Boudreau. Hawks quickly clear it out. Back just outside the Flyers blue, and it's Monin. Putting that off, Declan Steves gives it away. Monin right too close and tight. Wasn't able to get a shot off Leger. Passing up, Monin. Off for Nolan, and evades. Looks like that's Nicolas Richard who took a tumble. Hawks move back in, pass Bulk, throwing that out in front to the side of the net it goes before it's shot right back over his mitt. Another chance, the shot is just wide. Hawks now sustaining tons of pressure towards the end of this game. Getting into these later stages where they're up by 1 goal and need to keep it if they want to finish first place in New Brunswick, and an icing going to be called. So back we go to the net of Boudreau. Flyers off the draw. Alain waits, shoots. That one didn't get all the way through. Hawks go back the other way. Book has a man. He'll stay onside. Or it's a delayed offside. Caught down by McGrath. Then played out in time. We got over 40 watching live. A Flyers home game away from home at the JKI. City going back to his defense, trying to pass that one up for Robinson. That one's over his stick, and the Flyers will now ice it and go back to their defensive end with less than 6 to go. Through the left of McGrath. Won by the Hawks, put back behind the net. There's Jaillet. Backhander. That one going over to City. City leaving that one off. Radier trying to pass one rink wide. That one's intercepted by Richard. Alain flipping it high off his backhand. This one will go behind. The Hawks successfully break out of the zone. Bulk Waits, shoots it off of Jaillet. Behind the net is Matteo Roy. Waits, passes up. He sees Nolan, who sees Duplessis. Duplessis waits. This one not going to be an icing against the Hawks. Loud crash up against the boards. Roy off the glass, kept in by Maxime Richard. There's Nolan, forechecking, stepping in. Decons has a lane. And Nolan with a good stick to break up that potential opportunity. Here's Duplessis speeding by Wallet. Duplessis. Shot off the glass again. And this one, another icing against the Moncton Hawks. The last goal we saw in this game came about 12 minutes ago from Maxime Marin. Take the lead for the Hawks, and no goals since. Attempt to shoot it back in, Mazarol. Bijal trying to throw that one off the boards. Aguilarni pressuring out in the corner. Rodier accompanying him. Still undecisive on who gets possession. Finally comes loose and will go behind the cage of the Flyers. Scott trying to work his way past Robinson. Thrown across, this one gonna go by Marin. Paulin being pressured up, puck's gonna be pinned up again, killing tons of time. Multiple Flyers on the ground, the puck's in between both of them. Now Paulin trying to clear it back out, didn't get much of it, so it goes back behind the Flyers' cage. Declan Steves had it loose in his feet, rimmed up for Robinson. To the middle, Richard, Marin, backhander, knocked down to the net, saved by McGrath. Where is it? Still loose to the side of the net, and finally covered. Just 3 minutes left to go in what has been an incredible hockey game to watch to end off the regular season, especially being a very meaningful game for these two for seeding. Pass across, Duplessis, the shot scores! Miguel Duplessis. Again, an awkward bounce. And the Flyers have tied this one up. From a cross-ice pass from guess who? Sam Nolan. Maxime Richard. To Wallet. Banking it for Decons. Roy. Off the boards. Pass Wallet. We now have a tie game, 6-6. Thanks to Miguel Duplessis and Sam Nolan getting the goal and the assist respectively. Miguel Duplessis, that's his second time lighting the lamp tonight. And that is Nolan's 5th point, bringing him to a total of 106 on the season. An unbelievable regular season from Sam Nolan, hoping to continue it in the playoffs. Moving around, Bulk, Steves. bouncing up against the glass. Off the glass. Whoa. Curling back. Sending it past Paulin and on to Duplessis, who makes no mistake. By the shin pad of Bulk. And him coming up huge for his team in these last stages. We hope to see some extra hockey here in this last game. To the blue line, Jaillet keeps it in. Tries a shot. This one didn't get all the way through. Maxime Richard. Again to the blue line, Jaillet. His shot blocked away by Alcino and back into the zone of the Flyers. Leger trying to step behind his net, trying to get around Bulk. Leger still with it. I looked like he left that off for Rodier. Leger to the middle, and that one's off the skate of McFadden. Dufour trying to knock it down side of the net. There's Nolan slipping and falling. The Hawks go back the other way. Morin for Decons. Morin behind the net. Now left off. Richard, Wallet, blue line. Shoots off the boards to try to get that to deflect and go back out in front of the net. Nolan shooting it along, blocked in and barely kept in by Friolet. Loose on the front, they score! The Hawks take the lead with 32.3, again off a rough bounce. Who had looked to get a redirection on it, on its way to the net. And it's now 7-6 in favor of the Hawks. It's Richard from Friolet and Decons at 32 seconds. And a quick timeout taken by the Flyers. We'll be back. 1-goal game. And the Flyers come out icing 6 skaters. McGrath is on the bench. 32 seconds left in what has been an incredible game from both parties. Attempted clear, taken by Roy. Pass across Duplessis. To the blue line, into between the feet of Jaillet. Down low. Attempted pass to McFadden, wasn't expecting. Goes up to the blue line. Jaillet shoots. It's loose. It's taken away, and the Hawks take home the victory by a score of 7-6. And what a game we had ourselves today. And that's all for the regular season. Flyers are off to playoffs. we say good night from the JK in Bucktouche.